from Breitbart. Saudi Arabia doubling purchases of cheap Russian oil. Saudi Arabia is buying oil from Russia. The amount of Russian fuel oil that is imported by Saudi Arabia between April and June of this year more than doubled compared to last year. Data obtained through, I can't pronounce it, some Russian name, some ship tracking showed Saudi Arabia imported 647,000 tons, which is 48,000 barrels per day of fuel oil from Russia via Russian and Estonian ports in April through June of this year. That was up from 320,000 tons in the same period a year ago. The increased sales of fuel oil used in power generation to Saudi Arabia show the challenge that Biden faces as his administration seeks to isolate Russia and cut its energy export revenues. He's not seeking to do that. I've said this week after week after week. Biden is purposefully doing this. He's cutting America off from these things, and he is helping the Russians. I had another article come up just this morning at the huge amount of money that Russia is making, more than they ever thought. Their interest rates are now down to less than they were before the Ukraine war started. I may add that in next Sunday just to give you all the information from the article. Russia is blossoming while America is tanking, and this is a purposed thing by the president or by the person filling the presidency. While many countries have banned or discouraged purchases from Russia, China, India, and several African and Mideastern nations have increased imports. The U.S. and other Western allied nations have scaled back their Russian energy purchases since late February after Moscow launched its latest war with neighboring Ukraine. India and China have stepped in to fill this 8.42 million tons of oil, have stepped in to fill this trade gap. The world's second biggest economy, China, imported about 8.42 million tons of oil from Russia last month, a 55% rise from a year ago. India bought 6 times more Russian oil from March to May compared with the same period last year. Russia is reportedly selling its oil at steep discounts amid a Western boycott of the product. The low price point has allowed Moscow to skirt the intended effects of the embargo so far. Russian oil exports had not fallen to date despite a Western sanctions campaign against Moscow. Everybody's benefiting off of this except the United States of America. Gateway Pundit: Biden's effort to import more oil from the Saudis will help Russia and may ultimately come from Russia. Only months ago, President Trump made the U.S. energy independent and the world's top producer of oil. Biden has taken the U.S. from low gas prices and energy independence to record high gas prices and begging foreign countries for more oil at record high prices. Any oil coming from the Saudis will only help Russia. It's difficult to believe the Biden gang doesn't know this. They do. Market Insider notes that the Saudis are importing Russian oil to meet demand while oil prices are at record high levels. The kingdom's increased willingness to grow its reliance on Russian oil is at odds with global powers which are trying to condemn the Kremlin and to cut off its exports in response to invasion of Ukraine. The imports also allow the kingdom to free up their own oil exports to reap in profits from the record high prices on the international market, meaning we're paying more. Some of the Russian fuel made its way to Saudi Arabia, which we just talked about, through Egypt, accounting for some 110,000 barrels per day imported from Egypt in June. Meanwhile, Egypt imported 70,000 barrels per day from Russia in June. While Egypt exported fuels to Saudi Arabia before Russia invaded Ukraine, Saudi Arabia is now taking in 3.2 million barrels of power station fuel from Egypt this month. Meanwhile, Egypt's imports of the fuel from Russia are soaring to 1.8 million barrels, the highest since at least 2016. The reason why I added that in is to give you an information of how they're getting that oil from Russia to Saudi Arabia. It's via Egypt. So everybody is benefiting off of this while we are getting,
Green Initiative is only in America.
It's only in America. From the Times of Israel, Biden wraps up Mideast tour without any significant diplomatic breakthroughs. No kidding. Yep. Okay, I'd like to let you know before I go